I'm Adam.
I'm Shane.
And we're both from the Video Game Dads podcast.
Grayson.
And this is Grayson, my kiddo. We thought it'd be fun. I had this big pickup. I posted on Facebook about this. We thought it would be, it'd be kind of fun to open these up on camera and kind of go through the boxes and see what all is in here. To be clear, I've already kind of seen what's in there, but it's still going to be pretty cool to go through it with Shane.
I haven't seen anything,
yeah,
so...
He hasn't seen any of it. My kid will fake excitement.
So we're going to open up the first tub.
He does very well.
Uno tub.
And go through a few things in here. So this is mostly DS and PS3 and some PSP stuff as well. All of the Etrian Odysseys are in here. You know, Pokemon, Dow's Adventure, which I know nothing about. There's a Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Eve's Book 1 and 2 with the music CD.
Oh,
So
cool.
kind
I've never
of
seen that before.
Yeah, I've actually never seen this, but again, in really good shape. I was trying to see. Yeah, this one is sealed as well. So Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice. There's a sealed Disgaea DS.
Nice.
Summon Night, Twin Age, another game I really don't know much about, but I'm sure it's probably not very common because I've never seen it before. The other Etrian Odysseys. Right here, 2 and 3, both of which are sealed. What? Here's a Bangayo Spirits.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Bangayo is one of my favorite games on the Dreamcast, and also a pretty rare Dreamcast game. Metal Select 7.
Oh, that's a cool cover.
And this is actually sealed with the paper
slip cover.
slip cover. A couple of Game Boy Advance games. Lady Sia, which I think is actually a pretty rare game. Golden Sun, Sword of Mana, and Lunar Legacy, all here. And we got a bunch of PSP games. We have this is part of the Disgaea universe. There's actually one where you get to play as Prinny. I've never actually seen this game before, but this is the collector's set.
That's really cool.
And here's a Shin Megami Tensei Persona. That's the first Persona game.
I've never even seen the boxes like that for PSP. Like that.
Yeah, and the Persona's sealed. Like I said, there's a lot of PSP stuff in here. Castlevania Chronicles is in here.
Ooh, yeah. That's awesome.
Which that's actually a double for me. Patapon, which is a double. I was actually pretty excited to see this. Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Max. Again, Disgaea for the PSP. This is a pretty rare PSP game. It's actually very high sought after. Maybe one of, if you're collecting, maybe one of the best ones in the set to have, and that's Legend of Heroes 3: Song of the Ocean. This is a fairly rare game. And then Benjamin mentioned on our last podcast, this was his handheld of the week, and that's Guitar Man Lives.
Handheld Hollow.
Handheld Hollow. But Final Fantasy Dissidia, sealed. Then there's a lot of other cool games, like this is a really fun game, Guilty Gear Judgment, which is just like the other Guilty Gear games. And there's Darkstalkers, there's Eve's Arc of Nepotism, Legend of Heroes 2 is in here, the original Legend of Heroes, so the Legend of Heroes trilogy is all in this box.
That's awesome.
You know, Blade Dancer, which I don't know anything about.
Yeah,
that.
I never. So many of these games I've never heard of. I'm not the biggest PSP guy.
Yeah, and there's
so.
a Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. So, and all these games are in great shape. And as far as PS3 goes, you got your Demon Souls. One of the great things, and you'll see through these boxes, almost all of the non-NEO Geo system SNK games are in here. And so King of Fighters 12 is in here. And here's King of Fighters 13.
Oh wow, soundtrack.
Yeah, a bunch more handheld stuff. And there's a lot of box Game Boy Advance games in here. So Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Awesome.
And all these are complete. Here's a Fantasy Star Collection boxed. Drill Dozer.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Drill
drill
laser.
laser. Here's Metal Slug Advance, which is actually pretty hard to find boxed.
Especially boxed, yeah.
And Lunar Legend, King of Fighters EX2, Tales of Fantasia, Guilty Gear X, Final Fantasy 1 and 2, Sigma Star, Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 5, Chrysalis, Summon Night. This is kind of cool. Castlevania Double Pack.
Oh, wow.
Has Area of Sorrow and Harmony of Dissonance
That's
both
cool.
in it. This is a great game. Also a former handheld holler pick from Michael, which is handheld holler. So that's Gunstar Superheroes. I was really excited about this one. This is Guardian Heroes.
Oh man,
Advance.
I'm jelly on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
This is one of my favorite RPGs, Golden Sun.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy VI is right here. So pretty good complement of Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
And then onto the DS, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin.
That's cool.
Right here. Guilty Gear, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow are all here. Of course, you got your obligatory Nintendogs.
Gotta have that Nintendogs. Gotcha.
SNK vs. Capcom Card Fighters.
Oh.
This was actually a Neo Geo Pocket Color release. I'm sure this is sort of a redone version of that or an updated version. There are actually two versions of that for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Here's a boxed Metroid Samus Returns
Nice.
Special Edition. I think this one is sealed.
Got the CD up in there. Yeah.
And
That's cool.
I guess maybe doesn't look
Yeah,
like you
that
can tell
one's
if it's
open.
sealed or
Yeah.
not. Yeah. But Pokemon Y there, Virtue's Last Reward, Ever Oasis, Final Fantasy Tactics A2. This is a former handheld holopick. This is one of my favorite DS games. Really good game. Shin Megami Tensei 4, Apocalypse. That's a pretty sought after 3DS game. Fire Emblem Fates, and this is sealed. Let's see what else is
That's
in
something
here.
newer, yeah.
Luminous Arc 2, Children of Mana, Dragon Quest 4 and 5, Heroes of Mana, a couple of doubles in here. Actually, I really like this game. Partners in Time, Mario
that's
and
cool.
Luigi,
Yeah.
part of the Mario RPG series. And this is also one of my other favorite DS games, and that's Advance Wars DS. Great, great game. Or this is a Dual Strike, which is the sequel to Advance Wars on the Game Boy Advance. Lunar and Trauma Center are both in here.
I'll show this one. Bonk's Adventure.
Yeah, Bonk's
Game
Adventure
Boy.
for the Game
Awesome.
Boy.
That's legit.
See if I can make it where you can see these. This is Castlevania, Area of Sorrow, Circle of the Moon, and Fire Emblem for Game Boy Advance. And here's Zelda, Super Street Fighter 2, and Street Fighter Alpha 3 loose cards. And there's a few more PSP games down in here too. This one's pretty awesome. I actually really like this
That's
game,
really
but this is Lunar Silver Star Harmony, which is the same thing as, it was an updated version of Silver Star Complete, but this one is sealed in the box. I already have this game, but now I've got it sealed in the box, which is pretty dang cool.
That is cool.
And then there's some more PSP games in here, and honestly, I'm not real sure what some of these are. There's Star Ocean Second Evolution, which I'm somewhat familiar with, that's in here.
Class of Heroes. Atlas game.
But
That's pretty cool.
here's a Japanese import. of
Yeah, there's
some
a few
type or
Japanese
other.
imports too.
I think it's an Idea Factory game, so it might be a shooter. But in any respect, some PSP stuff. And I guess we're on to the next box. And they just keep getting better. I'm kind of starting.
Yeah, if we seem sort of, I'm being content right now because it's like I have an idea what's coming, but I don't have an idea what's coming. So I might lose my mind. I'm trying not to lose my mind.
We'll put that one over there. And here we'll get into some Wii and Xbox stuff.
Hey, I like that. That's cool.
And some PlayStation stuff. There's kind of a hodgepodge of things in here.
That's a good one.
I don't even know how to pronounce this. Odomedius, excellent.
I'm not even gonna try, but I actually own this one.
In
It's
in
good.
any respect, this is kind of a bullet hell shooter, pretty sought after Xbox
Yeah,
game.
Good game.
Yeah, pretty good pickup, and it's sealed.
Seal.
So that's kind of cool. Of course, you got, you know, some Halo in here, Halo Reach, Magna Carta 2, Samurai Showdown,
Nice.
Sin, which I'm completely unfamiliar with this game. Tekken 6, there's Halo 2, Halo 3, this is kind of a cool one, Guilty Gear 2,
I didn't even know that was on there.
Overture,
That's awesome.
Dead or Alive Extreme 2, so there's a couple of fighting games in here. There's a game called Bullet Witch, which I'm pretty unfamiliar with, don't know much about it. Blue Dragon, which a lot of people like.
Yeah.
And Eternal
Exclusive
Sonata,
Xbox game.
which I think is part of the Tales universe, if I'm not mistaken. But some people talk about that one too. And then for Wii, there's some really good Wii games. There's a sealed Castlevania Judgment
That's cool.
in here. I think that's a pretty polarizing Castlevania game. But here's one of the most sought after Wii games. This is Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn for the Wii. And I actually really liked this game when it first came out.
That's a good game.
No More Heroes, the original one.
I've only played that for like 5 minutes. I need to play that
Yeah,
more.
the third one's coming out here pretty soon. This is a great game. Again, SNK,
Yes,
so
yeah.
Metal Slug Anthology.
That's awesome. Yeah.
This is a good one. Smash Brothers Brawl.
Brawl.
Some people don't mention Brawl with like Melee and some of the
Yeah,
others. but
everybody
I-
always goes GameCube on it.
Yeah, but I really like Smash Brothers Brawl. Guilty Gear. These always get convoluted with the names.
Yeah.
XX Accent Core. It's a really good anime fighter. It's any of the Guilty Gears are pretty awesome.
And it's cool to have a fighter on the
Yeah,
Wii.
and I don't know much about this game, but I do think it's one of the rare Wii games. Baroque,
I never heard of that.
which is an Atlas game.
No, it's Atlas.
Yeah, and it's sealed. And I've actually been on the lookout for this one for some time, and I don't ever
Ooh,
find
nice.
it. And that's
Yeah.
the Samurai Showdown anthology
That's
for the Wii. Trauma Center, Dragon Quest Swords. There's a few Xbox games. Some
That's a
OG
good one.
Xbox. This is a great game. Panzer Dragoon Orta. So if you have an original Xbox, you should get this. And it's
Yeah,
actually
get that.
not
Not
it's
that
actually,
bad.
Yeah, not too hard to find. But a really good game. And then again, there's some PS2 games in here that are worth mentioning. So Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne or Nocturna, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And then this is Devil Summoner 1 and 2, which are also part of the part of the Shin Megami Tensei series. And then for Cube, we've got Resident Evil 4 and Star Fox Adventures here.
What is this one here? I've never heard of that before.
I don't know what that is either. Project Sylphied. Oh, if it's Sylphied, Sylphied's a shooter.
Shooter, that's what I started thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Xbox 360 had surprisingly
Yeah,
had a decent amount of shooters on it.
Because there's a Sylphied for PS2 that is a Working Designs game that's really good. So hopefully this is as good as that one.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
I'm fairly ignorant when it comes to Xbox stuff.
Yeah.
So this is a Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete collection. And this has like a map and a little art
Bunch of
book
stuff
and a bunch
in
of
there,
others,
yeah.
with some trinkets and things in it.
That's really nice copy too.
Yeah, but
It's not all beat up.
pretty hard to find. Here's Art the Lad Complete Collection box. This is a pretty rare.
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
cool,
have
man.
both of these already, but Art the Lad I have disc only. But both of these you'll notice have Working Designs logos on them.
Yeah.
So quality.
Yeah, anytime Working Designs, get it.
And then interestingly,
Oh wow,
2 copies of Rhapsody,
that's awesome.
and they're both really good shape.
Yeah, legit.
So that's kind of it for this box, I think. And we'll move on to another.
Whoa, doing the heavy lifting here.
Oh, heavy lifting. I actually got broke my back getting all these down here. Going through here, a lot of stuff in here. There's a Persona 3 right here. I'm completely unfamiliar with these. Tomiko, I'm not sure how you pronounce these, but
Yeah.
they're some kind of anime RPG fighting games, I think.
Cool slip cover.
But there's
on there,
two copies of that in here. Eco or Ico, depending on whether you're a potato or a potato person. Here's kind of a throwback. Space Channel 5,
yeah.
if you're into Dreamcast at all. This one's pretty cool. It's This game has a lot of clout. This is a sealed Odin Sphere, an
Nice.
Atlas game. So this is a pretty hard to come by PS2 game. Actually, people talk about this a lot. I've played it. It's pretty good. It's a little overrated. It's not as good as what people say. It's a good game, but it's not as good as what people say it is. Here's Fatal Fury Battle Archives.
That's awesome.
Volume
2.
2.
I never seen that one before.
Which has Real Bout, Fatal Fury, Real Bout, Fatal Fury Special, and Real Bout 2, the newcomers on it. So 3 Fatal Fury games all on one disc.
You like those compilations
I do,
too,
yeah,
so yeah,
they're
that's
great.
awesome.
Raiden 3,
Good game.
which is a good game.
Yep.
And again, like I said, there's another copy of Persona 3 in here, and this Persona 3 is the collector's edition that has, I guess, a soundtrack or an art book and that kind of stuff in it. This is a great one. This is Growlancer for PS2, and it is sealed. That's the limited edition,
That's
sealed.
Are you gonna open any of the sealed stuff up? Is there
I don't
any-
know. It's
you
going to
don't
be
know?
really hard to. I think here's a Famicom game, Mag Max.
Yeah, it's
Underrated Famicom game.
Ooh,
Marvel
good game.
vs. Capcom for Dreamcast, Soul Calibur for Dreamcast, Evolution for Dreamcast, House of the Dead for Dreamcast, Jet Grind Radio, and there's a handful of DS games down in here too. Probably the most notable of which is The World Ends With You, and that's a sealed copy
Oh, wow.
of The World Ends With You.
That's awesome.
Which I've actually never played that game. It's one of those that I've circled around a few times. That I think it's one that I would really like. It's kind of an action strategy RPG. I guess more RPG than anything else, but in any respect. So that's kind of some of the things that are in there. I think I probably skipped a couple in that last box that are pretty good games. Again, another SNK fighting anthology. That's Art of Fighting anthology. Art of Fighting 1. Let's see what's on here.
I think I got that one.
Yeah.
That's a good compilation.
Art of Fighting 1, Art of Fighting 2, and Path of the Warrior are
Yeah.
all on this one. And then here's Fatal Fury Archives Volume 1, which has Fatal Fury, Fatal Fury 2, Fatal Fury Special, and Fatal Fury 3. So it has
That's a
4
good one,
Fatal
too.
Furies
Yeah.
on it. Ghost in the Shadow Standalone Complex for PS2.
Awesome.
Shining Force Neo, which I don't know anything about. It's a Sega game, so
Yeah, that's
I
sort of
assume
cool,
from the
yeah.
cover it's kind of a hack and slash. Looks kind of cool though. Here's Persona 4 for PS2 sealed. Shining Force EXA, again Shining Force Sega RPG. So this guy at 2. You know, this is kind of a who's who of PlayStation games.
Yeah, this is like high-end PlayStation 2
You know,
stuff. He had
Phantom
very
Blade,
good taste.
Cold Decept, Guilty Gear X2. Here's Street Fighter Anthology.
Oh, that's
Or
cool.
Street Fighter Alpha Anthology. It says it's Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Alpha 3, Super Street Fighter 2, Alpha, Gold, and Gym Fighter. Gym Fighter is actually really cool. But
And I tell you what,
five Street Fighter games.
PlayStation 2 had a very good
Oh yeah,
compilations, man.
And,
Really good.
Yeah. Here's Dragon Quest 7, and we already had a copy of that. Here's Dark Cloud 2. And there's Dark Cloud 1. Boop, right behind it.
Little Zelda ripoff right
Little
there.
Zelda ripoff. Radiata Stories, although pretty good game in its own right, I think, even though it was kind of a.
Oh boy, I see something coming up. Oh boy.
Yeah, so Phantom Brave.
I'm about to lose it.
Here's MS Saga. This is actually a pretty rare PS2 game. I've seen this on some of the like top 10 rares. I don't know if it's actually that rare, but that's a pretty rare game. And then another highly sought after. This is, according to some, this is the rarest PS2 game, and that's Rule of Rose. And this copy's. I actually need to get it into a protector, but it's complete.
That is awesome.
And I did look at the disc. The disc is like perfect.
Good shape. Yeah,
it's in really good
that's
shape.
so cool.
So that's Rule of Rose. Benjamin referenced this game again on the last podcast. That's Guitar Man Lives is the PS2 version. We saw the PSP version earlier. And Capcom Fighter Evolution. And this has Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, Darkstalkers, and Red Earth. I have no idea what Red Earth is. I know what all the others are. King of Fighters.
Nice.
2000, what is this? 2002 and 2003.
3, yeah.
Both of which are great games.
Yeah.
I really like the King of Fighters series. Guilty Gear X. This guy at Hour of Darkness. I really don't know anything about this game. La Pucelle Tactics. So it's a tactics game, tactical RPG. Here's the World Heroes Anthology.
Nice. Yeah.
Another SNK anthology. And this has Heroes 1, Heroes 2, Heroes 2 Jet, and Hero Worlds Perfect.
Dang.
On it. So 4.
Good games. Yeah.
So here's the Xenosaga trilogy.
Are those the ones that match up on the
These ones
spine?
yeah.
Okay.
Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3 are all right here. I actually haven't gotten the strategy guides home yet, but I have the strategy guides for a lot of these games. Tales of the Abyss. Again, another game in the Tales series. Sega Genesis Collection. Again, Eve's Arc of Nepotism.
It's crazy. Some of these games I've never even seen before.
I think that's how you pronounce that, Nepotism. Magna Carta 2, Shining Tears, and here's Valkyrie Profile 2. And then on to some other games. Here's another copy of Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, or Nocturne, however you pronounce it. Knight of Daruga. Here, this is a good one. Sylphie, this is the game I was referencing earlier, another Working Designs shooter.
That one's actually not too bad on price, too.
Yeah, this was only like $5-10.
Yeah.
Great game.
Good game. Pick that
Very,
one.
very
Sure.
good for that amount of money. This is kind of cool. So this is, I'm going to try to pronounce it, Suikoden, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Those are Konami's kind of flagship RPG, and that's Suikoden Tactics right there. And then a few more PSP shoved down in here.
Yeah,
There's Star Ocean, The Third Birthday, Brave Story, Final Fantasy Tactics, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, Valhalla Knights 2, and Final Fantasy 2.
I'll show off one here. A little Fatal Frame 3.
Fatal Frame 3.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
Legends of Legendia.
Dude, I've never heard of that. Looks alright though.
I think it's part of the Tales universe. It's a Namco
Okay.
RPG. Again, haven't really played it. I played some of the Tales games, but there's so many of them now. This one's kind of cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Again, another SNK game. King of Fighters Maximum Impact. I think this is like the first polygonal fighter that they did, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
That's really cool.
There's King of Fighters 2000 and 2001. Another King of Fighters compilation, and we already had a copy of 02 and 03. Here's Wild Arms 3, another copy of Dark Cloud.
Alright, we're still going.
We're still going.
We're still going.
On to the next box.
Well, you want to do this one over here?
Yeah, let's do that
I'll
one.
do that one. Knock out the bottom row here.
Knock out
There we go. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, so there's some.
Oh boy.
There's a few good ones in here.
Oh gosh.
We'll go ahead and. So this is the original Sylphie
Oh man.
for Sega CD.
Sorry people, I'm looking at something here that's blowing my mind.
This one I'm pretty darn happy to have.
That's cool.
Again, it's another Working Designs game, but this is Magic Knight Ray Earth, which to my understanding this was an order-only game that came out after Saturn was discontinued and so forth. But this is a complete copy.
That is
And it's
awesome.
in
Very nice
in
shape.
pretty darn good shape.
That's very nice shape.
That's the thing. Half the time you find Saturn games are
Beat up
they're beat up
yeah.
and cracked and all that kind of stuff. This one's in very good shape. I'm actually going to set this one.
Yeah,
up.
let's set that one up there.
I'm going to set this over here. There's Lunar Eternal Blue. And again, all these are heavy hitters. And this is the Lunar the Silver Star. These are the original Lunar games before they were redone for PlayStation 1.
Did you show that one?
Yeah, so this is another hard to find game. That's a complete in-box Time Gal.
Oh man, that's cool.
Which is
That is so cool.
Yeah, this is a like a quick time event kind of game.
Yeah.
For Sega CD.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Almost like a Dragon's Lair. Type
Yeah, it's
thing.
very much like
Yep.
Dragon's Lair. So this is again another Working Designs game.
Yep.
We got the little logo on it right there. So I haven't quite checked yet. I may have all of the working designs games.
I think
now.
so.
Or really close to it. Popful Mail.
Oh my god!
Which this is arguably other than KO Flying Squadron, this is probably just right after.
Oh,
as far
that's
as
so
desirable
awesome.
Sega CD games.
That's legit.
This is a GameCube games, Killer 7, which is kind of a cool game.
Yeah, it is a good game. Yeah.
Here's the original or the Resident Evil remake.
A very good remake too.
Yeah.
If you have a GameCube,
Here's
get that.
here's the Ocarina of Time Master Quest double set. Here's Resident Evil 0, which is the prequel to the original one. This is actually a really good game.
Yeah, that's a good game too.
My favorite Resident Evil. Most people's favorite Resident Evil.
Mine.
Resident Evil 4. Those are just a couple animes, I think. Puyo Puyo Fever.
Cool.
Oh, here's a second Ocarina
Ooh, that's
Master Quest.
Sealed.
Was that sealed?
Yeah,
Ooh,
sealed.
sure is.
Ooh,
Well,
that's
it's a little
crazy.
shoot up
Yeah,
on the
but-
bottom, but here's another heavy hitter.
What? Sealed?
That's a sealed Fire Emblem Path of Radiance for GameCube. I need to get some of these in protective wrap.
Yeah,
here
you need to
pretty
get that
soon.
on ASAP.
But this is another. I really liked this game back in the day. I don't know how well it's held up, but I played this like end of high school ish,
Yeah.
early college era, and that's Tales of Symphonia. Again, another Tales game. This is
Yeah.
top 5
Yeah.
GameCube game for
Yeah,
me.
you gotta have that.
And that's Eternal Darkness. Not
Such a good
super
game.
rare, but not super common
Yeah.
either.
It's worth the 30 to 35 bucks, whatever it's
Here's
worth.
a Valkyrie profile for PS1, and this is the Japanese version, which is fortunate because I have the North American version.
Oh, that's cool.
So now I have both.
Heck yeah.
And here's the original Persona
Yeah.
or Revelations.
I always like the cover art of that one. Never
Yeah,
played
the
it, but
Shin
the cover.
Megami Tensei Persona stuff, like it's a little overwhelming, I think,
Yeah.
to kind of figure out how it's all related.
Yeah.
And there's Persona 2 for PlayStation. And then again, we talked about these some on the podcast. These games actually have held up pretty
Pretty
darn
good,
well.
yeah. Yep.
And that's Parasite Eve 2, and that's Parasite Eve 1.
Good
Side,
games.
side by side there. And
Hanging out by each other.
and then I actually didn't see that Path of Radiance in the first time I went through these. So that was kind of a surprise for me.
And sealed.
And Final Fantasy
Sealed.
8, the most polarizing Final Fantasy
Yeah.
game perhaps, and 9. I actually didn't hate 8.
I'm not a Final Fantasy guy.
Yeah,
That's ones I always end up trading. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, a lot
But
of
it's
people,
not mine.
a lot of
thing.
people don't like 8. But 8 special moves have these. It's just different. It can be cutscenes, and it can get a little bit
Yeah, too much.
hard to watch those. So I'm gonna go back and we're gonna go through some of these collector's editions here. This I don't know much about. This is Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood for PC. It's, as you can see, it's a big collector's box set. Apparently this is fairly valuable, but again, a real nice piece of eye candy.
Yeah, that is.
You know, to have. It's
Nice,
kind of a
cool
thing.
color. Yeah, that blood red. It's really
And,
awesome.
I've been after one of these ever since launch. When they announced that they were going to have these special editions for Breath of the Wild, I was able to get the other special edition, and this one had sold out.
Yeah.
I mean, it sold out like immediately,
Yep.
and I just couldn't get a copy. But this is the Master Edition of Breath of the Wild.
That's
You know,
really
big
awesome.
box, little statue. And,
I missed
and
out
stuff
on
in
it by
there.
minutes.
So that's
jelly.
That's pretty cool. And yeah, I probably missed out.
You wanna
on
do this
it
one
by
next?
Seconds, yeah. So here's a boxed Japanese Sega Saturn.
That's cool.
That is cool. Super cool. I mean, I can play Japanese Saturn games because I have an action replay. There's actually an action replay in one of these boxes, but now I can play it on original Japanese hardware.
That's
which is
really cool. Ooh, let me grab this one.
And then this box is a little beat up, but that is a boxed Famicom disk system.
That's cool.
This
That's really neat.
This is
That's
a
cool to
that's
see.
cool. I actually don't have SNK official Neo Geo
Geo.
PlayStation controller arcade stick.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah. So it's made by SNK for the SNK fighters for PlayStation. For PlayStation. So it's made by SNK to play like the SNK, like the Neo Geo, original Neo Geo fight stick, but it's for all the PlayStation Neo Geo games. I don't know how much that's worth, but
Hold a second. Let me check something. Oh, it's clicking.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's clicking.
Yeah, so it feels just like the original ones.
That's awesome.
Except it's a little bit heavier construction. I don't know how much this is worth or anything, but super awesome.
Yeah.
I'm way excited to have
Especially with all
this.
those good fighting games, that's gonna be awesome
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, so I'm real happy about that. I kind of wrapped these to get them home safely in Christmas paper, so it's kind of like Christmas.
I see something I like.
So here's a Dragon Quest VII. Here's Bayonetta for Wii U that has the original Bayonetta on it. I'm sure this is lost value since it's coming on Switch,
Yeah.
but still super cool to have.
Yeah. And those are going for big bucks at one time.
Yeah. Here's another PC box set. That's
I'm not a PC guy, but that's cool.
Yeah, I do some PC gaming, but this is Final Fantasy 14 box set.
That's cool.
So that's cool to have. Just gonna make a mess down here getting all these things out. There's Ghost in the Shell for PS1. It's kind of a rare PS1 game.
Yeah,
that I was
definitely.
looking at the other day.
Definitely.
Fear Effect for PS1. Another.
Oh, Fear Effect 2. That one's the second.
Or sorry, Fear Effect 2.
Here's,
The Fear Effect 1.
Yeah, here's the one.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
There's one.
I was gonna say both of them are in there. There's Fear Effect 1 for PlayStation. This is Odin Sphere. Odin Sphere Left Razor, I don't know how you say the whole thing, but this is the storybook edition, so this is the big box set edition for the re-release on PS4.
That's awesome.
And it is sealed.
That's cool.
So that's pretty cool. And
What's that one there? I never heard that.
so this is Jammer Lamey.
Uh-huh.
This is the sequel to Parappa the Rappa.
Oh, okay. It looked like it. That's what I was saying. That
So,
looks like Preppa.
I never played this actually. I
Really?
was a big Parappa fan back in the day, but I am super excited about this little guy.
It looks cool.
So I'm a lot of people really like this game. I've never really played it, so I'm definitely going to be playing
I knew it looked familiar, that art style.
before long. This is the Tomb Raider remake, the definitive edition. I think there's a steel book in here.
That's cool.
Heavy. But here's just the cover art for Dark Cloud 2. Here's a
That's neat.
little bit of foreshadowing, but this is a sealed or a new
That's really
new
neat.
NEO Geo AES memory card.
That's really cool.
So that's pretty neat to have.
Can I show this one off? I want to show this one off.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
This Death Smiles limited edition. So it came with a faceplate. Really, it's a shooter, bullet hell shooter. Really good game. That's so awesome. Oh my gosh, there's two of them.
There's
They're
those.
twins.
There's
They're
those.
twins.
Yeah, two
Oh
sealed
my
ones.
gosh, that is awesome.
And a Neo Geo Pocket Color. I'm
Okay,
happy
that's
because
cool.
I don't have the silver one, so this is
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. So this one's
I always
actually,
see,
you know what? Yeah, this is a color. Okay, I was gonna say it may not be the color version, but yeah, that's a color.
I always
So-
see the same pocket colored ones too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I
Mine's
never
the,
see like off ones.
Mine's
like
the
that.
anthracite black, the one that I have. I have no idea what this is. Mugen Souls, probably a Japanese import of some sort. I don't know what it is. I never had heard of this.
What is that?
It's I don't even know how you pronounce this.
Yeah.
The Firefly Diary for PlayStation Vita. Apparently, this is pretty sought after. It may be Asia only. I'm not sure, but it's sealed.
That's really cool.
So that's pretty neat. The silver case sealed. Need a few more things wrapped up in here.
Ooh,
Little top loader.
Little top loader.
Little top loader.
We'll mod that bad boy.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
There's an NES game snuck in here. This is
Sneaky little guy.
yeah. This is
Disney
the
Magic.
Disney Adventures, the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Seems fitting since I just went.
Can't get away from Disney, man.
Can't get away from Disney. OG Game Boy.
OG.
OG.
He's in
The
the
brick.
house.
The brick guy.
He's in the
It
house.
actually looks like it's in really good shape. It's gonna get a little old us going through all of this, but that's a Game Boy Advance.
Now 101.
SP. I don't know if it's a 101 or not. Can't tell if it's a 101. Just oh yeah.
It says
No, it's a 00.
001.
Yep. 00.
Just a little pro tip: if it's a
Yeah.
101, it's got a brighter screen.
Yeah,
so
it's
look
got
out for those.
that's the one that everybody wants.
If you're probably watching this, you probably know that.
Yeah, you know
It's not really pro tip.
OG Game Boy Advance. This is exactly.
I like how they fit the hand.
This is
OG.
this is the exact one I had originally back in
Yeah.
like late high school, early
Purple.
college. The purple.
Yeah.
Just the OG regular, the one that everyone had.
Yeah.
Um,
I like that matches the console really well.
I actually do too, and I don't even mind that it's not backlit. Now this is cool.
That is awesome.
So this is a boxed Game Boy Micro, 25th anniversary edition, and it's the Famicom version. Pretty sweet.
That is really sweet.
So that's really cool. And so I was happy to have that. There's another Game Boy Micro around here somewhere.
Run around here somewhere.
But here's Muramasa, the Demon Blade Collector's Edition for Vita.
That's cool.
This was a video game book club
Club,
thing
yeah.
for the Wii.
Yep.
But I think it's basically the same game. I don't think they changed it much for Vita. I could be wrong about that. Final Fantasy Explorers, Final Fantasy 3. This also has been a previous handheld holopick. Dragon's Crown for Vita.
Very fun.
Here's Gravity Rush for Vita. And that's just the copy of Muramasa for Vita. Oh, still got a lot of things to go
Oh,
through.
let me show off one. Adam's favorite game here. Minecraft. Woo!
Is that story mode or is that the right? Oh,
Story mode.
I'd rather play that one than the other one.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so this is a collector's edition of Bravely Default.
Oh, that's cool,
for
man.
the 3DS. Yep. And
I've seen that
it is
a few times
it
before.
is sealed
That's cool.
on that side. So that's the collector's edition. And here's Drakengard 3 for PS3. It's one of the blue labels. These are blue label games. Some of them are pretty rare. Some people specifically collect those blue labels. I'm looking at you, Benjamin. But that's sealed. We don't know much about Drakengard, honestly. But have that. This one I was pretty thrilled about. That's Elemental Gunbolt.
What's that play like?
I don't know anything about it. I know it's a working designs game.
Yeah, so it's probably
and that therefore I want it. But you can see it has the cool silvery. Actually, they say the rarest PS1 game that there is. There's a collector's edition released of this
For
in
this
a
one?
silver case. I think they gave away at like E3 or something. And
I have
but the game itself is pretty rare. So that's Elemental Gunbolt. Legend of Mana. I'll just kind of name off some games that are in here. Chrono Cross, Rival Schools, which is a really cool fighting game. Final Fantasy.
Rival Schools is awesome.
Final Fantasy Tactics, Thousand Arms, Star Ocean.
Ooh, you gotta pull that one.
I don't.
Next one.
I don't know anything about this game, but it's an Atlas game, so I'm assuming it's rare. Cartia for PS1. Star Ocean. There's the first.
Valkyrie profile right there.
Yeah, the first Valkyrie profile.
Yep.
Right here. This is a sealed Xenogears.
That's cool.
It's the greatest hits, but it's sealed.
Hey, it's sealed. Shoot.
Vagrant Story, Chrono Cross. These are two heavy hitters here. Actually, several of those were heavy hitters, but that's Suikoden 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Wow.
So we had 1 and 2 here, and then we had 3, 4, and 5, I think, for PS2 in the other box. So,
yeah, I'm like a hype man over here.
yeah, I think we have all of them. Here's a black label Final Fantasy 7. Trying to think what else is on here. Final Fantasy Anthology, Final Fantasy Chronicles. This is the one that has a Chrono Trigger on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this is actually not terribly expensive. If you want to play Chrono Trigger,
15, 20 bucks, yeah.
Yeah, not a bad way to go.
Yep.
Final Fantasy Origins and Persona 2, Eternal Punishment there. There's a few PS4 games in here too.
Oh, that's really cool.
Here's a sealed cave story for Switch. Final Fantasy 15 Deluxe Edition. The Last of Us for PS4. I'm actually going to play this pretty soon, I think. I've never played the end of that. I've started to play like halfway through it like 3 times. Monopoly. There's your Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Dragon's Lair Trilogy for Wii. And that's sealed. I
That's
actually
cool.
want to play this kind of.
I know, that's really cool.
The Dawn Bluth stuff. Star Ocean, Till the End of Time, box set.
That's
Got the cardboard. Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. And this game actually is pretty sought after for PS4. And that's Gravity Rush
yeah.
Remastered. And then there's a Knights of Azure in here as well. Then a few more to round it out. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Exist Archive. This is a rare Wii game. That's Pandora's Tower for Wii. That's sealed.
Man, there's so many Wii games I've never heard of that.
And this is Rodea the Sky Soldier for Wii U. Pretty rare game.
Fun game, isn't it? Right?
I think it's okay-ish. Yeah.
But there's like one with like an extra
one of the rarest and arguably maybe the rarest, depending on who you listen to, Wii game is the collector's edition of this game. which I have in that case.
Yeah, nope. I remember you picked that up that one time.
But my Wii U collection is a little bit strange because I not only have like pretty much all the games, I also have the variants. I'm not complete yet with the variants.
Yeah.
Like
There's just a few, weird ones. Yeah. You want this one here?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Don't drop it. Alright, we got some Xbox stuff.
Xbox!
Some faceplates.
Oh, cool faceplates, man. Those are good.
This is it.
Those are cool.
This box mostly has hookups in it. But there are some cool things in here. So this is the only thing Resident Evil 4 wise that I don't have. I've got the demo disc, I've got the preview disc, I have the chainsaw controllers.
Oh, really?
I have the collectors, or I have the player's choice. I've got the regular versions, the black labels. I did not have the GameStop exclusive limited edition 10, which is what this is.
That's really cool.
And it's in great shape.
Yeah.
So I was actually, and it's got some, it's got some little things inside of it too. But
that is legit.
yeah, really neat to have.
Leon in there. Here, I'll put this down there.
There's a Super Nintendo, pretty, a little bit yellow. But
A little yeller.
I'm sure I can get that dude working.
A little yeller.
There is some Dreamcast stuff in here. Tony Hawk, the original. Let's see what's all here. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Slave Zero, Zombies Revenge.
Oh man, I just picked up Zombies Revenge. I would have traded you on that.
And then there's some odds and ends things in here. There's some 3DS chargers. There's a NES Max controller, which I actually don't have one of these.
Really?
Yeah, you would think.
I don't think I have one either.
But
because I knew I was never going to use it.
there's a Final Fantasy Lightning Returns exclusive PS3 controller in here.
Oh, cool.
Which I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that's a thing.
This is Final Fantasy 13.
It's got sort of a different sheen to it too.
But yeah, kind of neat.
It's really cool.
But like I said, there's just a bunch of hookups down in here. There's a Phantasy Star 4 manual.
For the
Like I
CD.
said, this is mostly hookups and
Okay,
controllers
so-
and things.
Alright.
Yeah, so we'll go on to the next one.
Let me see here. We'll grab. You can grab this one or that one.
Either or.
Let's get this one. Whoa.
All right,
What we got here?
another big box of stuff.
Woo!
So this one's got one of the cooler things in it. So this is a North American NEO GEO AES. I know every time I'm near it, I'm afraid I'm going to drop it. But this thing's in really good shape, and I'm not sure what low. Everybody talks about low numbers. This one's 14,549, so I'm assuming that's fairly low-ish.
Yeah.
But
You never see those.
some people say low numbers matter. Some people say they don't at all. I don't know. I do know that. So my Neo Geo AES that I own is a Japanese version. This one is significantly heavier.
Oh, really?
Than
the Japanese one?
So I think the boards are different, or they must be on the inside. But either way, they play Neo Geo AES games, which is awesome.
Yeah, so cool.
So yeah, be careful with that one. There's some people collect promo stuff, and this is a Final Fantasy 14 gigantic promo bag.
That's cool. That thing is huge.
It is. I'm sure it came from some trade show.
We'll get Grayson back
Hold it
down
back
here.
here so you can kind of get some perspective on it. But it's pretty cool. It's in really good shape.
Get Grayson back in here and hide him in there.
Yeah. So here's a Star Ocean for the Super Famicom.
Oh, that's neat.
And the cool thing about Super Famicom, if you've never seen them boxed, is that they're the size of VHS tapes.
Yeah.
So they came in VHS.
They have really
boxes.
cool boxes.
Yeah.
I used to have a few.
So this is the Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 Collector's Edition. This is some Game Boy Advance game. I don't know what that is. Japanese. There's some Famicom disc. I don't know what these are. I don't know what game.
Uh-oh. Prototypes?
Yeah, I'm sure they're super rare prototypes. So they may be the erasable ones. They made those erasable cartridges, and that might
That's what I say could be one of those.
And I'm not sure what this is either. This is a Mega Drive Namco game from Japan. So if anybody knows,
Wow, I've never seen a box like that.
Yeah, if anybody knows what this thing is, tell me in the comments because I don't know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
And so
That's
there's
really
a Game Boy Player disc. So one of the things
You always need those, man.
yeah, one of the things I couldn't get home with me is a Game Boy Advance player on a GameCube. But it's at the other place, so I'm gonna go pick it up at some point.
Yeah, you always need extras of
But
these. You know.
this is the only TurboGrafx game. Keith Courage. And the
Keith
Alpha
Courage.
Series. The most common TurboGrafx.
Nobody
game
likes
in
you,
America.
Keith Courage.
Keith Courage.
Go home.
He's not as bad as his reputation.
No, it's not that bad. It's
I never had even seen this before. This is the 7th Dragon 3 Code VFD. Sealed.
All right.
Here's Shantae Half Genie Hero for PS4. Sealed.
Legit.
Blue Blaze for PS3 box collectors. Edition. So Xenoblade Chronicles X. There's another Gravity Rush for PS4. There's Nier for PS3. There's a Xenoblade Chronicles, Ragnarok Odyssey Ace, Final Fantasy 13, Guilty Gear. I always mispronounce this. I think it's Zerd, ZRD. Atelier Sophie. I don't really know.
I
what
wish I
any
could
of
help
those
you,
are,
but it'd be 20 times worse if I did.
yeah, but then there's
Ooh, Nier's, man, that's a good one.
Yeah, Nier's a good one to have.
Yeah.
This is some kind of a collector's thing that came with one of the Castlevanias. Again, I'm not sure which
wow.
one. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research
Yeah.
on that one. Japanese Saturn Knights.
Nice.
That came with that box set. Here's a Super Smash
Smash.
Brothers 3DS.
Nice.
This is,
Oh boy, I'm seeing the bottom of this thing here.
yeah, so this is a Bravery Second End Layer Collector's Edition for 3DS. I'll backups of the whole thing. You can get in the picture.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Again, this is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
And it's sealed on top.
Sealed.
Sealed. And then there's a bunch of collector's edition soundtracks and various things in here that I don't think I'll go through all of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of randomness right there.
Yeah, there's just a lot of random things. But there's some stuff down here that's pretty neat. So here's Samurai Spirits for the NEO GEO AES. Better known here as Samurai Showdown 1.
That is so awesome to have the box for that.
Yep.
Like, those are so cool.
Yep. 118 meg.
Messing with Meg.
Yeah,
That's so cool,
there's the card,
man. That is neat.
I would bet the manual,
Yeah,
there's the
that's
manual
so cool.
underneath. So.
You just never find those I mean, you never see them to begin
Well, the
with.
shock boxes oftentimes you just beat to hell.
Hell,
You
yep.
know, when you do find them.
Man.
One of my favorite video game soundtracks,
Oh, yeah.
King of Fighters 98
Yeah.
there. And
They almost look like big, like, beta tapes or something. I don't know, like VHS tapes. It's, like,
so again,
crazy.
little manuals, all the baggies and all that in it. So that's super cool. And again, a really clean copy.
Yeah. And Neo Geo is, that you can play American version and, right? It's,
Yeah, they're region free.
we're region free.
And then, so if you ever do get if you're ever fortunate enough to get your hands on a Neo Geo AES, and actually for most people I would not recommend getting an AES, I would recommend getting a consoleized NDS.
Yes, yep. Yep.
But if you do get an AES or a Neo Geo CD, they're both region free. So this is Galaxy Fight for the AES. This is kind of an expensive, rarish game. And again, it's all there. It's in really good shape. Manual and all. It's kind of interesting. It's actually the CD Jolt Case manual that's in here, sort of.
I just hold my hands out like little.
All right, and so this one coming up is the as far as monetary value goes, is the most expensive thing in this collection or in this lot. And this is a copy of the North American version of Match of Melee for the Neo Geo AES.
Boy.
I won't tell you how much it's worth, but you can search eBay if you want to know.
Yeah.
But Match of Melee. So this was made by the people that made the Guilty Gear games. This was like their first. And again, there's the cartridge on the inside. This thing is in great shape.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's like it's perfect.
And I don't know if the manual's ever even been opened.
Yeah.
On the bottom of it, but yeah, really happy to have that. That's going to look.
I'm gonna cradle this one.
Cradle that one like a little baby.
Baby, come here, little baby. Go on with you.
Like a little baby. There's a bunch of these are kind of neat, and I know some people collect these.
Oh yeah, those are neat.
But these are like passes for a lot of game shows,
Yeah.
game conventions, and
Put the
whatnot.
lanyards on there too.
Lanyards
Yeah,
and things.
that is neat.
And go through a few more things here. Here's a box sealed 3DS, Super Mario Land 3DS. This was a big deal a couple of Christmases ago. A lot of people were really after this one. And then I'm going to move some more of this promo stuff over here. Try not to bend or break anything. Xenosaga 3 art book.
That's cool.
I got a whole big box of art books and stuff that aren't down here yet. Art books and strategy guides and just books in general. This is a sealed Lightning Returns collector's.
That's cool. Here, actually, I'll put these over here.
Yeah, this is a Final Fantasy 14 sealed collector's edition.
Crazy. Crazy.
Here's another Lightning Returns collector's edition sealed.
That's crazy. Two of them.
This is a Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness PS4 collector's edition sealed.
Nuts.
And a pink 3DS XL.
Can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with
Can't go wrong with that.
Okay, I think that's pretty much it.
It on that one?
For this one, yeah.
All right. We got how many more we got left?
Down to the last. Just
Last
the
one. Here we go.
And Shane is stepping around the arcade, the sticks for that NEO Geo that we were just looking at.
Yeah, the sticks
So,
are over there. Two of them.
Yeah, the sticks
really
and the
cool.
styrofoam are both over there. So, you're gonna keep going.
The Team depowered.
So a bunch of Nintendo powers.
That's cool.
Um,
You already have a full set, dude, don't you? Of those?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
So old Nintendo powers, a bunch of them.
I like the early ones. They look like claymation. Like
Yeah.
they're so weird.
And here's another little stack of Nintendo powers.
Nintendo
I love
powers.
me some Nintendo power.
Yeah, they're cool, man.
So that's the whole stack right there, Nintendo powers. Man, these are pretty old ones. I think these are like, let's see, these are high teens to 40-ish or
Yeah,
so.
about 30 to 40s. That's it. Yeah.
So, you know, they're pretty early ones. Here's a boxed, sealed, ceramic white PS2.
You don't ever see those.
Actually, my favorite of the PS2s.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
cool.
have to say that this one is. It came with Songstar Pop, so that makes it even better.
I love that game.
Yeah, I mostly say that because I love microphone singing games. There's a
He's got a voice like Fergie.
there's a SNES.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Not Yeller. No Yeller in that one.
Now I said that other one was sealed. This one's not from that box, but this is another white
Ooh, that's one's nice too.
PS2 Slim.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I haven't even checked this to see if there's a game in it.
Oh.
Nope. Looks darn clean though.
Yeah, that stand's really cool for that too.
Yeah, I know. It's got the little screw-on stand on the bottom. Yeah, that's a cool thing.
Saturn.
North American Saturn.
There you go.
And I can't even remember. There's Model 1, Model 2.
Yeah, but there's no
There's
real.
the round
yeah.
buttons and oval buttons are the
Yeah.
difference, but I can't ever remember which is 1 and which is 2.
No.
That one's heavier than
Yeah.
my original one,
That's cool.
though.
There's no real big difference, just a little rounded.
Can't go wrong with this little guy.
Woo! TG16.
TurboGrafx 16.
That's cool. I didn't know you had one of those in there.
Genesis / Mega Drive Model 1. It's 16-bit.
16-bit.
Yeah, just so you know.
High definition graphics.
High def.
Ah, yeah.
There's another Model 1.
High def.
Genesis / Mega Drive. Yeah, this one's also high def. So
Alright.
it says right here, high definition. Alright.
Put it on your TV there, guys. Oh, cool.
And the cool thing, so there's a Model 2 Genesis with Model 2 Sega CD. The base of your Frankenstein is what that
Is
is.
this one modded though? Do you check the back?
I don't think so.
What?
I don't know, what is that thing?
That looks like S-Video.
Oh,
It looks like it has S-Video and...
it sure does, yeah.
Yeah, it's something else. I'm not for sure.
Yeah, so this one
Maybe
is
some kind of
modded.
audio. Yeah, I think that one's modded. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, cool. Alright.
Heck yeah.
like I said, that's pretty much it. I've had a couple of pretty big video game hauls at various points in the past, but this is, here we go.
Yeah. Heat up in your grill.
Heat up in my grill. If I can figure out how to work this camera on this tripod. Here we go. There we are. So, as I was saying, I've had some pretty big video game hauls in the past, but this is probably the best one that I've ever had in a single haul. And this came, I actually got all these from a guy that I've known for actually 2 decades now, I think. Good friend of mine, great dude, and basically he gave me a great deal. I think it was a mutually good thing for both of us. He wanted his stuff to go to a big collection, you know, not just be pieced off and sold, you know, piecemeal and that sort of thing. So that's, I kind of provided that for him, so all of his things that he likes, you know, go someplace where they're preserved and stored and that sort of thing.
Well taken care of.
Yeah, so I was thrilled. It's the video game dads had a good week.
Had a real good week.
Yeah, it's kind of the bottom line. Here at the end of the video, I was going to show a couple of new things that I've gotten just in the last couple of weeks if we have time for it for just a minute. And partially just to plug things. So these are NEO GEO games for the Dreamcast that were just released. This is NEO XYZ. This is Fast Striker, Gunlord, and Pink Bullet's Last Hope. So these are all new homebrew NEO GEO games that they also released for the Dreamcast. Unfortunately, they're all sold out, but they're mega cool. And then I also got Human Fall Flat, which is a super rare release game. That's the name of the publisher for the Nintendo Switch. I think they're based out of the UK. And it's a 5,000 print run. It's one of those collector edition sort of things. The best of the NES music vinyl.
That's cool.
So that's pretty cool. If you're interested in where to find this, just send me a message and I'll let you know. And Donkey Kong Country soundtrack.
That's
if you get the reference here, it's Johnny Cash. It's Donkey Kong, so it's Donkey Kong Country. So this is Folsom Prison Blues.
Yeah.
Thing. So that's so kind of a mashup. But that's really cool. And another kind of heavy hitter came in the mail, and that's Ni no Kuni 2 Collector's Edition. And I usually don't buy these new. Actually, it's pretty darn rare that I do. But my kiddo really liked playing the first one with me. And it's a JRPG that looks like a late 80s like anime cartoon show for children or something. But it's a game that me and my kid can play together. So we're going to play this together.
Heck yeah.
And
that's
so
the best game.
So that'll be a lot of fun, I think. So that'll pretty much end it for this. So if you've hung through to the bitter end, appreciate it. And if you know anything about some of these games that I don't, feel free to
let us know.
Comment beneath and
below
and that sort of thing. So appreciate your time.
See ya.